how's it going? Nick with Van Trading here, and I'm here with another educational stock trading video. Today I'm going to be talking about a setup, or rather an indicator that I've been using rather heavily in the last month or so. And well, I've been using this actually since I've started trading, but in the last 2 months there have been some really great setups and opportunities based off of VWAP, or volume weighted average price. For those who don't know, it's essentially a moving average, kind of like a 20 period simple moving average or exponential moving average. But instead of just averaging the prices, volume weighted average price, as you would imagine, weights volume in there. So prices that are traded with more volume have more of an impact on the moving average than prices traded with less volume. A lot of traders love this, and a lot of institutional traders apparently love this as well. I'm told that VWAP is a very heavily used indicator with institutional traders. If they have big order sizes to use, they'll try to trade against VWAP. They'll use VWAP orders throughout the day. In some cases, I've heard, and I've never confirmed any of this with institutional traders, that their executions within their firm could be graded based on whether they got filled on VWAP, away from VWAP, where in relation to VWAP. Now, VWAP can be used on a daily level, an intraday level. It can be used wherever you want. Now, what I'm talking about in particular, and what I'm going to be showing you, are actual trades I took and trades I saw, and I'm going to show you my step-by-step executions using a neat little tool called Think Back on Thinkorswim. We're going to replay some of these trades live and show you how I traded these morning plays off of VWAP. I'm going to show you some VWAP retests, some VWAP failures, and some VWAP crossovers. I'm going to show you about 4 trades in total, so hopefully this video doesn't go too long. I promise I'll try to keep it as short as possible. And then I'm going to show you just in general, how we can see the market reacting off of VWAP. It's going to be really helpful and informative, and I hope that you get some value out of this. So let's go to our first trade and not waste any more time. And this was on Moderna, and this was on 527. So let me go to we'll just go to 9/11 on May 27th, just to show you how the stock was shaping up. This is what it looked like on the daily. So, this has been a nice sell-off day. Moderna's been getting crushed ever since the vaccine news came out, and now we go to today. We're gapping even lower. So I can already tell you I'm leaning short on this day. This is definitely a day I'm looking to short. We're moving even lower. We're consolidating nicely. We're putting in new lows. And now let's go into 9. Actually, you know what? This is one of those days where I actually short pre-market, and I don't do that often. So let's start playing the day as if it was a real day. Okay, there we go. So it's playing. Let me make it move a little faster. So I'm going to put in a short in, let me fast forward to 9:14 and 17 seconds. This is where I put on my first short. We're not worried about this part too much. I just want to show you my entry. I short this thing right in here as we're breaking lower in pre-market. I know we have a good chance to flush on the open. Now let's fast forward to 9:30, and we'll pause it. Okay, bam. And we are on the open of Moderna on this day. Stock's been ticking down. I've been shorting all in here, so I've got some nice price action. And yeah, let's see how the trade goes. I'll fast forward a little bit as we go so you can see how it reacts. And for your information, the pink line right here, that is VWAP. The blue line is a 22 period exponential moving average. I like to keep it on there and just kind of have another moving average in relation to VWAP. Sometimes I'll use it as a trailing stop. That's just me personally, and I only use it every now and then. But the pink line is what you want to see. That's volume weighted average price. And so as we're trading, we're moving down a little bit. VWAP's coming down as volume continues. Let's fast forward a little bit so it moves a little faster here. I'm still short. I actually cover some soon when I realize it's not holding lower. Just so you know, I cover a little bit right here. Not my full position, just, about half of it. And yeah, so we're trading. Let's fast forward a couple of minutes. Fast forward a couple more, go to 9:40. There we go. This is what we want right here. Okay, so this is good. We're starting to trade up to VWAP. Bam, we're popping up to VWAP. I've covered by now. I'm out of my position, and I'm watching. The stock has now returned up to VWAP. We couldn't hold lower. This is a nice little failure here. VWAP is going to pose some resistance and some support depending on what side we're approaching from. So we're seeing a little bit of trading going on here, a little bit of capitulation, not able to put in some new highs. This is a good sign. Let's fast forward a couple more minutes, see how this stock reacts to VWAP. So we ended up crossing over here. Very interesting, but we haven't quite moved away. I'm not necessarily convinced that this is going to be a VWAP crossover or a VWAP buy, but this is going to be really telling. We're pulling back into VWAP now, so I'm going to be watching this one very closely because I want to see how we're going to react. Let's fast forward about 10 more minutes. We're going to go right before 10 a.m. because I initiate another short soon, and I'll show you why. There's a split that you have to do. You have to watch the stocks because you could have bought here. Let me actually pause it. This necessarily wouldn't have been a bad buy in my opinion if you were comfortable with a long this early. It crossed VWAP, it pulled back, almost tested it, and started moving higher. Now, it wouldn't have worked here. Thankfully, I was a little patient. I was probably a little short biased pretty heavily here, and now we're getting another crossover here. So actually, I'm about to short this stock in about 2 minutes, and we're going to see what this stock does at VWAP. It's kind of hovering, playing that above below. You just need to wait and wait and wait and wait until one level finally gives, or one side of the fight finally gives. So let's fast forward this a little bit. Let's actually jump ahead 1 minute so I save you guys some time here. Now look at this. This is beautiful. We're starting to hold below. It's trying to push above. And if we get a little bit of a failure here, that's a good sign that the buyers are trying to buy this above VWAP. Let me pause it right here, because right here is where I short. I initiate a little bit more of a short. I take on a little bit of size here because we've now failed VWAP. We held. They tried to push it above, and they tried their best. Actually failed that 22 EMA kind of nicely, and now we're back below. Now what I'm expecting is the longs got baited in as they tried to push it above VWAP. Now I'm expecting them to drop the longs out and try to stop them out. Maybe we'll get some prolonged weakness from here. It's 10 a.m., so we're kind of exiting price discovery. We're still kind of in it. We're not quite sure who's going to win for the day, but let's play it and let's continue and see what happens. So I'm going to tell you that I end up covering a little bit in about 3 minutes. We're going to see what happens. So, we had this nice push above. It's trying, it's looking a little good. Longs have failed, we're back below VWAP. What we want now is we want this to make a new low. We want this to start hitting those stops, and we want this to start flushing. I can already tell you my stop was this 52. It was where it peaked out here, because if it moves up there, then we need to be worried. Looking good, it's looking good, it's looking good. It's moving lower. There's that flush. This is perfect. It's flushing below. The longs have been baited and dropped. We were right in our anticipation that that was a long trap and that VWAP was going to win here. So this was a good little VWAP failure here, a little VWAP crossover. They tried to bring it above and they failed, and now we're getting a nice little drop here. I can tell you already I covered a little bit here. I just wanted to make it a free trade. I didn't cover much. I still had about 2/3 of my position, and I hold this for a little bit. So let's fast forward to about 10:14. Let's see what this stock did after VWAP. Beautiful. Look at this. This was beautiful read. We're still grinding lower. The stock's making new lows. VWAP was a great little crossover indication there. And I can tell you I get out in 2 minutes, which is okay because it's about to do something here. But I'm going to show you where I made a big mistake that cost me a lot of money. Or it didn't cost me a lot of money, but it made me miss out on a lot of profits here. Okay, we're popping back up here. It kind of held the lows here. Kind of held these lows. That's okay. I'm looking for an extended move lower. We're still kind of trading around that 22 exponential moving average. We're hanging out. We're trying our best here. Let me fast forward 1 minute to where my exits are. Okay, we're still holding here. We're holding. And I can tell you now I'm about to get squeezed out right there. So let me pause it. It returned back to VWAP, and I wasn't comfortable with that. VWAP eventually became my trailing stop for the core of the position. I wanted to hold some for a nice extended move down. I had great entries on VWAP, so I was able to give back, I was able to kind of give that stop. And as VWAP started moving down, my stop actually became, even though it was essentially where I got in at VWAP, it was actually a little lower, so I was comfortable with that. However, we had this little poke there. If you ever watched our Vant and Rant Live podcast, you know that I call that the middle finger move, where it kind of gives you a little finger there. And let's fast forward because you're going to see where I messed up. I'm out now. I'm out on that pop at VWAP. I'm out because I'm not comfortable. I think that they might now be shorting or short squeezing, and they may have baited those shorts in, and now they're going to push it higher. I think maybe there's a chance he's going to play the above-below game. So I'm watching, and we're going to see where I messed up here. Because if I go 2 minutes later, look at that, bam, pause. That is a perfect little VWAP retest and failure. I'm okay with my exits here. That's perfectly fine. I should have re-entered. I should have re-entered with some of the positions, set a stop above maybe this wick here, these highs, and that's a VWAP retest. I was a weak hand on the core of my position. I still made money on the trade, absolutely. But you had this VWAP battle. They tried to squeeze the shorts. The longs couldn't even squeeze the shorts. They couldn't stop them out. They couldn't even break these previous highs here of 52. I had moved my stop down to VWAP, so that's why I got shaken out, which is okay. If I kept my original stop, I would have been fine. But we had this perfect VWAP retest, and I wasn't patient. You need to let VWAP try to show you what it's going to do. You got to give it time. Because now watch this. If I fast forward to the end of the day, you're about to see what this stock did. Whoops. Bam. Look at that. I'm just going to fast forward in here. This is that VWAP retest I'm talking about, and we failed. And we went from, almost 52 to 46. That's a 6-point move from the VWAP retest. That right there is a beautiful trade. This is a textbook trade. Obviously, I wouldn't have held the whole thing from top to bottom. But you had multiple reentries. You even had this reentry in here. If you look at this little flag here right at the lows, you had that VWAP retest. I was stupid, took it off my charts. I was done trading it. I didn't want to give back the profits. And because of that, I missed an extra flush here. And this is what I was looking for in here. This is what I was looking for in here. I just didn't give it that extra try. I didn't give it that extra push. I didn't set an alert. I didn't do anything. And I missed what I was looking for. And that was a perfect VWAP retest and failure. Let's just look at what it did. It eventually grinded back. Gave you a little bit of a battle on VWAP. This is a nice little VWAP crossover, but it's in the middle of the day, so it's going to be slow. It's not something I was interested in. And for the rest of the day, it just kind of traded along here. But you had a beautiful morning setup there. Nice little VWAP retest. Let's show you another setup, fairly similar concerning VWAP. And this is going to be on Dropbox, and this is going to be on May 8th. And I'm going to show you my executions. I'm going to show you how it behaved with VWAP. And yeah, so let's go to the morning. You see what it did, so, okay. This is what it looked like right before the open. So we're sitting here. Let's go to the daily just so you see its earnings. We're actually breaking out on the upside. So I'm actually going into today looking for a long. You've got this really nice holding higher. You've got these lows here. I can already tell you I came in here with a long bias. We're holding higher. We're breaking out on the daily. It looks like a great long. Now let's fast forward right before I entered on a short. And we'll see why I was able to flip my bias and what I saw. So on the open here, they pushed it up, and they failed. They failed to hold this up. They couldn't break and hold that 23. The bulls tried to juice this up, but they ended up failing, and they brought it back down to these lows, these pre-market lows here that I was watching. And they gave a little bit of bounce up. So now at this point, I'm like, all right, I think this might be it. If I'm getting short here, which I'm about to, we're going to see what happens, but I ended up working into a nice sizable little short here. And I will show you. Oh, let me fast forward. My apologies. Okay, so we're going to watch this trade. It's trading. It's hanging out at these lows. I'm interested. If it starts looking like it's going to flush down and break, I need to hop in. I can't hesitate on this one. Boom. Look at this. Beautiful. Oh, I want to pause it. Did you see that? It went up and kissed VWAP perfectly. That is a nice little VWAP retest. Now, obviously, it hasn't gone far away from VWAP, so it's not like a full pullback up and retest and drop. But on the little 1 minutes here and the couple minutes that we had on the market open, look at this. It went up, kissed VWAP, and now we're getting a little bit of weakness here. I short it right here. So I end up shorting here. I get 22.49s. I saw that VWAP retest and failure. This is technically a lower high from the morning. I'm looking for a flush of lows. Here we go. Boom. Beautiful. Oh, love it. And I'm still short. You know, I'm holding this thing. I want to see a flush of lows. This is perfect. This is perfect. This is absolutely perfect. I mean, they tried to push the highs. They tried to juice them. Those longs failed, brought it back down to these pre-market lows, looking a little dicey. They pop it up, failed to cross over VWAP. Now you're watching. You see that weakness come. You got to hop in. You got to hop in, and you're hopping in for the momentum. So it's not like if this thing started squeezing above VWAP, I'm out. So let's just watch, see how it reacts a little bit. I can already tell you I cover a little bit right here. So I cover a little bit here. We're hanging out at 22. I really like what it's doing, and it's trading, it's trading, it's trading. Let's actually fast forward a little bit. I'll show you where some of my exits are. Ooh, we're getting a nice little VWAP retest here. Okay, so before I move on, I covered a little bit at 936 at 2196. So covered a little bit in here, covered a little bit at 937.57 at 2211. So covered a little bit more in here because it was stalling. I'm playing for the momentum. And I actually hold the rest, and I hold the rest pretty effectively. I'm pretty happy with this because I wanted prolonged weakness here. We haven't filled the gap from the earnings. Well, actually, we did technically. Maybe I didn't realize that, but look, we're not. Bears are still in control of this. Let's actually play it. Let's continue. We just popped up and retested VWAP. If I'm watching this, if I was out, maybe a good entry for a reshort, maybe just a test, a little flyer. I'm watching here. I want to see. We're back up to VWAP. They're pushing it. They're trying to push it. Oh, they're trying. They failed at that same spot. Not looking good. It's not over yet. Okay, here's a nice little squeeze here. We haven't broken new highs. It's looking a little dicey, though. I'm not going to lie. Looking a little dicey for the shorts. If they start squeezing this up here, it's probably a good time to exit. We need this to reclaim VWAP on the downside for us to be comfortable in our shorts. Here's the big test. Good. They brought it back down. So in this case, I'm pretty confident. I feel good about this. VWAP isn't going to be the cleanest thing. You've got algos out there, you got HFTs. You got to be aware that a lot of times your trades might not be the cleanest or as clean as you'd like them to be. You just need to understand you have to give it wiggle room. That's what I gave it here. I gave it wiggle room. And we had this nice little VWAP retest. They're trying. Here come the lows. Here comes the squeeze and the knockdown of shorts. And we're knocking down the shorts. I'm feeling good. Perfect VWAP retest. If you missed this morning entry, there's a great example of a chance to re-enter on the VWAP retest. Let's move ahead a couple minutes, show you where I took some off. Boom. Took some off at a retest of new lows here. Beautiful pullback from VWAP. We bounced twice from here now, so it's okay taking some off. I'm perfectly fine with it. We're trading along here. That was a great little VWAP move. Obviously, you'd like some more movement and price and profits from that. You would like some, obviously. Let's fast forward a little more because I can already tell you I'm still in this position. I'm still in. It's not making new highs. Now, VWAP aside, from a technical side, you've got these bounces. They're trying to bounce it, but every time it bounces, it's putting in lower and lower highs. So if you're a patient trader, that's a good sign. If you've got some kind of trailing stop like a 22 EMA, it's not breaking that. That's a good sign. They tried to push this VWAP. They couldn't do it. I took a little off, so it was a free trade. So I'm actually comfortable holding some of this. That's why I'm still in. I can tell you I actually cover a little bit more, and I'll get down to about a quarter of my position in not much longer. 56.57. And the price will be $21.95, so I can already tell you it's about to bounce and kind of start pushing back up. Might have been a little bit of an aggressive cover on this one. I can already tell you I was anticipating getting hurt. This cover here, I covered right there, was me worried I was going to get hurt here. But it's okay. You need to take profits as it moves lower. You need to take profits where you can. Let's move on to the end of the day. Let's see what this stock did after it failed off VWAP. And pause. Okay. So let's just go to the morning where we were looking. That was the beautiful VWAP test. and it ended up dropping, and it wasn't the cleanest sell-off, but if you were confident, you had that VWAP retest, you were looking for weakness, it gave you a perfect entry. That VWAP retest, that VWAP failure, which is where I entered, I mean, two beautiful trades. Even if you're watching this later in the day, gave you a little bit of an interesting opportunity here, almost looked like it was going to cross over, and when it ended up failing off VWAP again, not the cleanest thing, but you would have gotten something here. Not my favorite trade towards the end of the day here. I don't think it's that clean. But on the morning, this morning flush is beautiful. You almost get a full point on it in, 1, 2, 3 minutes? 3 minutes, you almost get a nice point, which is 5% of this stock. It's not bad. You get that gap fill. You get what you wanted on it. So not bad. Let's show you another one. And I believe this one is a good one, if I'm not mistaken. This one is MRSN. We're going to go to 9/7, why not? And it is on May 28th. MRSN, what do you got for us, baby? All right, let's go to the daily, show you first of all the setup. Breakout day, baby. Look at this. Nice little consolidation. We're grinding higher. We've got an outsized day. This is a second day play. It finished higher, gave you a little consolidation, now moving a little here. We're not quite back above this 18, which I would have wanted for a long, but we're looking okay. It's looking like this stock was in play. Let's go to the open. Let's actually move forward a little bit. 9:45 is where we're going to start. So it looks like they, tried to push this up. They failed. I might be leaning short here. We're still below this 18. I'm going to watch it and see how it reacts to VWAP. I get in a couple of minutes, but I don't get in the direction you might think. If this thing had bounced, tested VWAP here, and started rolling over, would have been a really good short idea. But in this case, they brought it and ripped it through, and now we're testing it from the upside. So now we need to watch and see how, if the shorts are going to be able to drive this lower. We've put in a lower high. We need to be careful. Looks like VWAP's now actually acting as support on this stock. So I can already tell you I'm watching this thing. I may have been short bias at one point because we failed, to break above these 18s and we flushed lower, but we saw those pre-market lows buy it up. Well, let me actually pause this. And we now crossed back above VWAP. It's hard for me to want to short something if it's above VWAP unless I'm seeing it really see that weakness. I'm seeing those sellers just hitting it, and I'm anticipating a break. I can tell you that's not what I'm anticipating here. We're going to watch it for one more minute, and you're going to see I actually enter a long at 9:49 in 10 seconds at a price of $17.50. So they're holding it. They're really buying it. The VWAP's refusing to drop. They're not even testing it at this point. It's looking good for me. I'm going to get in 20 seconds. And in 20 seconds, we're seeing what I'm seeing. This is live, fast forwarded 2 seconds at a time. That's all. Okay, I actually bought a little here. A little aggressive of me. It is. But you know what? I have to stop at VWAP. I'm thinking they're going to kind of squeeze it here. Let's see if we get what I wanted. I add a little more at 9:50 and 38 seconds. So we'll have that in about 18 seconds. And I get 1773s. So you already know we get it higher. Perfect. This was actually kind of perfect entries on here. I'm really happy with this looking backwards now. Boom. Okay, so I actually bought a little in here. I bought a little more. My stop is below VWAP. They bought it up. They supported VWAP. And yes, someone might say, well, Nick, you've got this resistance here. You've got this place that it failed from. You're buying in front of that. That's true. I'm anticipating in this case, VWAP held, it's moving away. I'm anticipating a short squeeze. I'm anticipating that I get to hold this one for a little bit, see if I can squeeze this up, and see if we can get up towards these highs. I can already tell you I didn't trade this one the best. My entries were really good, but, it ended up moving up here. So I actually sold out a little bit here. I sold out maybe 10% of my position, nothing major. I like to do what I call free trade, take some profits. Now I'm not worried about it, even if it comes back and stops me out. Is not going to be a loss because I've taken what I needed to assure that this is a free trade. So we're testing this 18. Let's fast forward a little bit. Let's go to 10 a.m. Not bad. Not bad. If you saw that VWAP VWAP crossover, it consolidated here. They couldn't drive it below. It started holding a little higher. Once you saw this breakout here, you think, all right, here comes the squeeze. The bulls have won. VWAP's now your support. VWAP can now be a trailing stop if you want. They topped it out a little bit here, which is why I sold out of some, and now we're sitting up here. And I hold this one for a little while actually, but not bad. Not bad, not bad. So I take some off at 10:09, like up in here when we're hanging out. Let's fast forward. Let's just see what it did for the day, as we always like to do. But, that was a great entry. That was a beautiful entry. Look at that move up. That is a gorgeous move up. I can tell you I didn't hold for that whole time, which is a shame. Obviously it wasn't the cleanest thing. It came back to VWAP here, and it actually got below VWAP, which is, you can't hold on something like that. I mean, you can, but it's tough because now we're back below this level. We're below VWAP. You definitely could have taken a re-entry in here if you were looking for an afternoon. This is what we call a midday perk pattern. It's not something I was interested in. This was my play here. This was my bread and butter. This was a really profitable trade. Made a decent amount here, actually. Made 10% on the trade here. And you got it to really move higher, and it pretty much peaked out at the levels I wanted to, which was the previous day's highs. Did end up breaking later. I'm not concerned with that. This is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the morning plays off VWAP. VWAP does have plays midday. They're not going to be as clean. They're not going to be as fast. But I'm talking about the fast action, these morning plays where you can play off VWAP and you get these quick moves, and that's what we got here. We got a beautiful little squeeze, little stutter step, micro pullback, and it pushed higher. And then, if I use my 22 EMA as a trailing stop and ended up getting out on the way back down, no problem. All right, let's show you one more, and then we're going to take a look at the market and show you some really interesting opportunities that you can have trading this. We're going to go back to Myrna. You see a little trend here. There's been a lot of Myrna opportunities. And it's actually the same day. So you're actually seeing what I saw after the fact. But let's go to 9 a.m. So 9 a.m. on the morning, we had our first little yesterday was actually a big day for it. It had that flush, held these lows here. I'm actually looking for a little bit of a bounce day. It's gotten crushed. It went down 40% from the highs. 50% from the highs. Now you're thinking, all right, they need to give some back. We're holding higher. We've got this little level here in front of us, so I'm leaning long bias on this one today. And let's go to 934, because that's when I actually enter my first long. 934 in 16 seconds. Sorry about that. And let's see what I saw. Ooh, VWAP crossover. Very interesting. So I apologize, I didn't realize what trade this was. I want us to see what I saw in this one. VWAP in this case was actually higher on the open. So in this case, they're buying it. They sold it off a little bit going into the open. Now you see buyers bringing it up right into VWAP. If someone was leaning short on this stock and had a short bias, this is an interesting time to be watching. It's driving up into VWAP. If you see that failure, it almost would be worth a short just based on this setup alone right here. We obviously know that didn't work out, but it's not necessarily a bad trade if, whether you were looking at fundamentals or something. If you had looked and had a short thesis going into today, not a bad entry here as we're failing into VWAP. Obviously, we know that doesn't work. I'm sorry, we weren't moving at 2x speed, so let's see what happens. Pulls up into VWAP. They try to drive it above. Oh, that's a nice opportunity it's a nice signal for shorts here. And this is why I haven't bought yet, because it failed that VWAP, it failed that whole number. Now it looks like they're baiting him in, driving him lower. But you got to remember, 9:30 into like 10:30 is price discovery. So you need to play momentum. You got to be careful things reverse. So if you did play that short, you need to be leery here because it didn't make new lows. Pushing up. This is a good sign for my long. I'm not in yet. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm not in yet. Let me pause it here because it tested up to that VWAP, failed down. If I was aggressive, if I was anticipating, maybe I was trading something else. I don't know. I'd have to look back at the day and see exactly when all my other trades were in executions. But, that was a good opportunity if you were anticipating a squeeze. This is also a little Monday morning quarterbacking. Fair enough. At 9:34.16, I enter. So we must have had a good opportunity. Or maybe I just saw it wasn't, the shorts weren't pushing it back down. Oh, we got a little bit of a flush here. Not bad, not bad. Can they push it down? Can they push it down? They're trying. I'm going to be in soon. Let's see what I saw. Right here, I'm buying some. So they couldn't even bring this back to VWAP. Now we're pushing new highs. We're at the highs of the pre-market. I'm anticipating a squeeze higher. I'm anticipating them to punch this one up. This is pure momentum-based trading. In the morning, off of VWAP like this, it's almost always momentum-based trading. Maybe I'll keep a small core for a longer-term trade throughout the day, but this is going to be momentum. So boom, look at that squeeze. Oh, it's beautiful. I don't sell any until 9:38 and 35 seconds, so let's watch. I'm surprised I didn't sell any there, but it's good on me for holding, I guess. I must have given a little bit of wiggle room. I wasn't worried. Looks like, the buyers are still buying this up. It's still looking good. Buyers are still in control. They can't even bring this thing back to VWAP yet. So let's actually move it forward 2 minutes. Let's see where my first exit was. Wow, look at that morning squeeze. Well, there's my first exit. You've got this beautiful push away from VWAP. You had a beautiful VWAP crossover on the morning. Oh my God, the buyers are in control. This is beautiful. I don't sell again until right here. I sell a little more, 9:39 and 20 seconds. Boom, sold a little more. And this was momentum based. The momentum stopped. I'm actually seeing some red now. I gave back a little bit, but that's okay. It's the morning. You want to try to let your winners run. But I'm okay getting out of some here. I hold the rest until 9:41. So let's jump and see what happened. I get back in though. Just wait and watch. So this stock isn't over. So I actually got out here as we came back into this level. I was a little worried about what I was seeing, but I'm about to get back in 2 minutes later. Let's just jump ahead. I don't want to waste your time. We're almost done this video, and there's a lot more to learn. Really nice here. Really nice. I'm out of the position now. Let's just jump ahead to save you some time. See the end of the day. I want you to see the opportunity that this stock provided us. Look at this VWAP retest. So this is the morning squeeze I caught. Nice squeeze. I can't complain about this. I caught 2.5 points on this. A little less on the ones that I gave out on the way down. Great little VWAP crossover here. They tried to give you that failure here in the morning. They couldn't push it lower. They couldn't stop out the longs. They couldn't make new lows. And as soon as it crossed VWAP here, buyers are in control. Did a little stutter step here, and I bought on the break of highs. Gave it that nice little squeeze. This right here. Okay, this was my trade, and it looks like I didn't trade it well. Damn. Nick, what are you doing? Okay, so I ended up rebuying at 943.57 at 55.89. So I bought in here. Interesting. I bought here on this push up. I thought this was going to hold and they were going to push higher. That's fine. And I got out as we kind of started moving lower. I did not rebuy this. Look at this VWAP retest. They flushed it lower, so you can't hold your longs through that. That's just too much. You'd be kind of silly to be holding through this. But look at this reentry. Consolidation right above VWAP. They can't hold it below. They can't hold it below for 15, 30 minutes here. It's holding along VWAP, holding right below this level here, and it broke out, gave you even a little stutter step entry, and it's off again. This is another great opportunity off of VWAP. Great opportunity. And let's see what it did later in the day. Looks like it kind of played the above-below game with VWAP. And this is why, I do make midday plays off of VWAP, but it's very different, because it's not moving as fast, which is the most important part. In this case, in the morning, I'm playing momentum. I'm playing speed. I'm playing short squeezes. I'm playing things like that. During the day here, it's hard to read which way it's going to go. It's hard to read what it's going to hold. But this was really nice. This was really nice. You had two great squeezes off of VWAP. I did say that the last thing I want to do, let's go live, is show you off of the SPY. I just want to show you how SPY respects VWAP some days. Sometimes you can just use VWAP just as a little bit of an indicator. Didn't touch it this day. Look at this. So I'm not even necessarily saying you have to trade off VWAP, but VWAP even, reflects well on the market. Look at these beautiful failures at VWAP. Look at this. It held. Couldn't do it, broke it down. Couldn't do it, broke it down. And then, it got back up by the end of the day, but that's also just how the SPY's been this market lately. Let's go to another day. Look at this great morning hold. They tried to flush it down, couldn't do it, and then ended up moving higher and didn't test VWAP again the rest of the day. Great little move there. But you got to be careful. Not all days are going to be like this. Some days are going to be choppy. Boom. Even though it's choppy, you have clean, respecting levels of VWAP. It just didn't go anywhere. In this case, VWAP was still an important level. There just wasn't enough momentum to drive it away from VWAP on either side. So in this case, this is why I love using VWAP lately, because look at this. Respected it all morning. Let's go back another day. Again, another example of it looks like they just couldn't drive it away. This looks like news based on the volume here. I'm not sure what day this is. So that one, I'm not sure what that move is. That one's probably news based. Trading along VWAP. Nice little retest here. Just judging on this one alone, you've got the crossover, you've got the failure to break, and then you've got the move lower. Nice little VWAP move here. But look, the market even respects VWAP. All right, volume weighted average price is, I love it compared to simple moving averages and things like that for a reason, because it takes volume into account. And as traders, volume is important. Volume is probably the second most important thing to price. Some take volume more important to price. So it's just something that I like to use, and I only really use it in the morning, but there are midday setups that you can see. And I'm not saying that you're going to get 20% in the middle of the day off of VWAP, but some midday perk pattern, a crossover of VWAP where they fake it and hold and push higher, you just need to watch it. Just put it on one of your charts, see how it reacts, try it with other indicators, see if it's something that fits for you. Over these last couple days, I just like using it as, just kind of seeing where the battle's being done. You see that average price where the volume's being done. If it returns to that price, you're at a battleground. And if it's above or below, that's kind of how you can tell whether the bulls or the bears are in control. A lot of people use that to judge whether the market, the bears or the bulls are in control for the day. Some people look for returns to VWAP. So if something's gone really far from VWAP, they want to see it come back kind of to its home where it's done most of its volume weighted average price. So there's all sorts of trading methods you can do over it. You don't have to do the setups I'm doing. Like I said, find your own path, find your own way, test it along with other indicators, maybe put stochastics or RSI or other moving averages on there with it, and find where you can get your best entries, your best exits, your best targets, what have you. I'm going to end it here. It's gone a little long, but I think that this is a really helpful and informative topic and a really good strategy, or at least just an indicator that you can use to get a little more information and kind of really give you a judge. Go online, just look up VWAP. You'll find all sorts of content on it, not just from us, from other traders all around the world. Everyone, at least knows of VWAP, knows what it is. Some people think it's garbage. Some people love it. Some people swear by it. Some people say, I'll keep it on my chart maybe, but I don't really care about it. It really is your own path. But I love using VWAP in the morning, at least these days where we're getting some nice little squeezes, some momentum. I really only use it on those stocks in play when there's a lot of extra volume coming in, because I like to play the momentum off of it. That's really it. Some of the trading I do off of it requires anticipation, maybe a little forward thinking, but I've seen patterns, and patterns repeat themselves in the market. Even if history doesn't repeat itself, it does rhyme. And I do believe that, and I think that there's a lot of opportunity to be had learning and using indicators like that. You don't have to use it. There's hundreds, thousands of indicators and studies out there that you can use. This is just one, and one of the many setups that I like trading, and one of the many setups that have given me some of my most profitable trades in the last 2 months or so, maybe the last year. Really depends on the market, obviously, and how volatile we are. I'm going to end it at this one. We'll continue to post out some videos. We'll see you at 8:45 on Monday for the morning market analysis, and at 1 p.m. live for our Vant Ram podcast. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, please, and follow our Twitter and Facebook for our stock callouts and free daily playbook. I hope this was helpful and informative. I will see you next time, and as always, safe trading.